Welcome to Wisdom of the Bible channel. Welcome. The story of the Great Flood is more than a simple religious tale. It ranks among the most perplexing accounts in human lore. What really transpired before that catastrophic deluge? What details are absent from records of the ancient world? And why are there so many global traditions describing a cataclysmic flood? Biblical texts and Jewish tradition reference a pre-flood world mired in irreversible corruption. Yet few ventured deeper into the specifics of that dark period. What led to this world's destruction? Who or what inhabited Earth at that time? And what knowledge was lost when the waters wiped out entire civilizations? Here, we will examine the obscure records of humanity before the flood, looking closely at the sins, horrors, and forces that shaped this forgotten chapter. Tradition holds that the earliest humans emerged from Adam and Eve, their descendants multiplying, followed by the introduction of original sin. After their transgression in Eden, people increasingly surrendered to wrongdoing, which only grew more severe. Even after this initial fall, biblical texts depict a society straying ever further from divine laws. Most of these hidden details remain unknown, researched only by dedicated students of sacred writings. To complement biblical narratives, experts often consult early Jewish works, clarifying what might have happened and illuminating stories preserved through Israel's lineage. These writings refer to fallen angels, evil presences, and forbidden acts of sorcery as part of the mounting chaos. Ultimately, this downward spiral led to unimaginable depravity and triggered the flood in Noah's day, a landmark that symbolized God's judgment and a chance for renewal. Genesis explains that Adam's family spread across the earth, with Cain being a chief ancestor of one branch. Cain, having committed a grievous crime, displayed wickedness in God's eyes. Historical traditions say many of his descendants mirrored his ungodly ways. Although some were artisans or innovators, tradition generally holds that Cain's line did not serve the God of Adam. Some argue that a few in Cain's lineage may have kept faith, but prevailing thought suggests most followed his violent example. Meanwhile, Adam's son Seth formed another line, seen as Adam's true spiritual successor. Unlike Cain's descendants, Seth's initially remained loyal to God, praising his name. Among them came Enoch, a devout man and first prophet recorded before the flood. Enoch spoke out, warning humanity of its rebellion. Yet, over time, even Seth's family lapsed into corruption, succumbing to temptations just as Cain's had done. The Genesis 6 account says both families eventually intermingled, contributing to the moral decline that preceded the flood. Beyond just their moral decline, early civilization possessed certain cultural traits we know little about. For instance, what language did they use before the deluge? The Bible doesn't specify which language was spoken. However, we do know that before the Tower of Babel incident, the variety of languages we have today did not exist. Some say the so-called Adamic language, possibly alluded to in the New Testament as an angelic language, was used by the first humans, allowing them to speak directly with each other and with God. That language was withdrawn at Babel, where God divided human speech. From then on, multiple languages formed, and the original one disappeared, likely because humanity no longer merited using it. Some suggest Hebrew or Aramaic might have been that initial tongue, but the Bible itself doesn't confirm it. The Adamic language is simply lost, and today we only have the languages that emerged after Babel. Another defining aspect of the pre-flood era was the extraordinary longevity people enjoyed. Whereas modern humans typically live less than a century, it wasn't unusual then to reach centuries of age, often retaining vitality and strength far beyond anything we see now. Scripture even records some living over 900 years, with Methuselah, the son of Enoch, living to 969, making him the oldest individual listed in the Bible. Clearly, that world's conditions were unlike ours, marked by robust lifespans. Genesis 6 also notes serious moral and spiritual decay. Various ancient sources, including certain Jewish texts, indicate fallen angels, later termed demons, manifested physically, mingling with women of that era. Their offspring upset the divinely intended order. Additionally, these rebellious spirits provided secret knowledge, once unknown to humans, spurring further sins and distortions of the truth. Works outside the biblical canon, like segments of the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Book of Jubilees, and the Book of Enoch, expand on this theme. They describe how these angels taught forbidden skills such as witchcraft and sorcery, contributing to the swift proliferation of evil. This erosion became so severe that it led to the flood's devastation, a reset to purge the earth. These texts say fallen angels also instructed humanity in building weapons and waging warfare, compounding violence and corruption. When they took human wives, these angels are said to have enabled them to practice powerful magic, transforming them into mediums, witches, and necromancers. The Book of Enoch, the Book of Jubilees, and other related writings talk about Azazel introducing methods for forging weapons, making mirrors, jewelry, and even cosmetics. He allegedly showed them how to shape eyebrows and use gem treatments, causing vanity to proliferate. Others like Amazarek, Armors, Barkayal, Akibil, Tamiel, and Asaradel revealed different arcane arts, from spellmaking to tracking stars and decoding omens. This, combined with the unstoppable spread of idolatry, drove humanity to the brink, prompting the judgment of the flood. Armed with this esoteric knowledge, pre-flood civilizations raised grand buildings and achieved notable achievements, all lost when the waters covered the world. Moreover, the unions between these angels and women produced the Nephilim, known in Jewish tradition as gigantic beings. These giants grew extremely tall, physically imposing, and were frequently described as violent. Some references suggest certain Nephilim indulged in witchcraft and cannibalism, with recorded conflicts arising among distinct giant races. Some accounts suggest the angel Gabriel initiated such conflicts. These stories, however, remain among the most perplexing and debated aspects of that distant era. These giants symbolized a fusion of God's original design with the corruption introduced by fallen angels. Able to materialize as human men, these angels married mortal women, giving birth to the Nephilim, who sometimes reached reported heights of 16 feet. It was around then that Enoch offered the stern prophecy. It was about these that Enoch, the seventh from Adam, prophesied, saying, "Behold, the Lord comes with thousands and thousands of his holy ones." Jude 1, Enoch 2. This indicates divine judgment on the wicked acts of that generation. Besides the monstrous Nephilim, some pre-flood creatures were also enormous or extremely fearsome. Some are extinct, while others, according to a few theories, might dwell in uncharted ocean depths. Leviathan is among these creatures, often depicted as a giant sea monster or dragon with near indestructible scales. Job's description of Leviathan is both astonishing and terrifying, leading some to connect it to certain dinosaurs or unknown megafauna. According to ancient Jewish tradition, the fallen angels descended during Jared's lifetime, causing havoc for about 200 years leading up to the flood. This was a tumultuous period of angelic interference, giant battles, occult practices, and the genesis of advanced but ultimately destructive civilizations. Only after widespread moral decay did God bring about the flood, aiming to restore purity to a broken world. Thank you for following this exploration. This is the story preceding the Great Flood, filled with extraordinary events. May these insights deepen your grasp of the Scriptures. May God watch over you all, and see you soon.
Hello, dear viewers. Thank you for watching our channel, Wisdom of the Bible. I personally invite you to subscribe to our channel. It supports us and helps us create more videos. Thank you, and God bless you.